These are the solutions for the third practice quiz for quiz number 3 in the first trimester. So problems 1 and 2, you are at the solution step where you take the square root of both sides, and on the right you take the positive and the negative. So add 2 and you have negative 7 and 11 for both solutions. On number 2, you have some fraction work to do. Negative 7 over 5, you square root the top and the bottom. So add 2/5, so negative 5 over 5, negative 1. And then 9/5 on the second one. I learned how to add fractions without a calculator. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it can be done. Add the numerators and keep the denominators. 3 and 4 is about completing the square on one side. So 1 goes here, and then x plus 1 squared. It's important to know that this number is what's inside here, and then that squared is what's added on the end. Now, typically you add it again on both sides. We're just working on one side with this, and then square 4.5, and you get 20.25. So this is 20.25, and then this is x plus 4.5 squared. So I'm trying to stay on one side and get you to focus on that left side. Okay, I'm going to go a little faster in this. Subtract 21 over. So we have minus 21, and then we want to divide by 2. That's negative 5, and then we want to square that. That's 25. So 25 is what gets added into both sides. So we have on the left x minus 5 squared, and on the right 4. So remember, that's what goes in the parentheses. If we get a negative, and we got a negative on the first practice quiz, then that's a no solution. But here this will work, and x minus 5 equals 2. So 3 and 7. Number 6, divide by 6 everywhere. Or I'm sorry, divide by 2 everywhere. My bad. Plus 12x plus 27. 0 divided by 2 is 0, of course. And then subtract over 27. So we have to do 12 over 2, that's 6, and then we have to square 6, that's 36. So 36 is what gets added into both sides. So on this first page of this, I'm giving you ones that are simpler to do. And this is 9, so negative 3 and positive 3. I haven't been saying this very much, but you need to check your answers. Okay, it's easy to make mistakes. You've seen me make mistakes. Just because I have the concept of something, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't mean that I'm above simple computational errors. Okay, so definitely check your work. 7 and 8 are about taking the standard form into vertex form. So all kind of the same thing with this. So we take negative 8 over 2, that's negative 4, and then we're going to square negative 4 to give 16, so that's what we add to both sides. So y plus 5 equals x minus 4 squared, and then we just subtract 5 over, and there is your vertex form. Number 8. Subtract 16 over. So we're ready to do the completing the square. So we want to add 25 to both sides. So y minus 9 equals x plus 5 squared, and add 9. Oh, plus 9. Okay. Ooh, there's a mistake. Subtract 9. That's why you check your answers. And so if you're asked what's the vertex of each of these, you would say 4, -5 here, and -5, -9. So whatever in those parentheses, that's the x value. You got to think of it in terms of the opposite if you were answering that question. The harder side. Okay, so on 9, we're ready to take the 10 to the right, and now we have a 3 by 2, and then square 1.5. So 2.25 is what we want to add to both sides. So we have x plus 1.5 squared equals 12.25. So we need to square root 12.25, 3.5. Negative, positive. So subtract 1.5 twice, you get -5 on the first one, and then 2 on the second. Check your work all the time. Problem 10, divide everything by 6 to start with. And then add 3 over. So 3 over 6 is 1/2 if you want to reduce it. You can write 3 over 6 if you want. All right, so we've got -7 over 6 divided by 2. So that's -7 over 12. And then we want to square -7 over 12, 49 over 144. I did that fast. So that's what gets added in to both sides. So on the left, we have x minus 7/12 squared. And on the right, we have, I'm going to do this. I can't do it all. (121 over 144). Square root both sides. So on the top, we get -11/12 plus 7/12, -6/12. I'm sorry, -4/12, which is -1/3. And then on the bottom, we get 18/12, which is 3/2. So again, use a calculator, double check your work. 11 and 12, same idea here. Plus 4x plus 13, and then we want to subtract 13 over. So 4 over 2, that's 2, and then we want to square 2. So this side becomes x plus 2 squared, and now we need to add 4 to both sides. Completing the square, lots of work so that you can get good at this. Plus 2 squared plus 9, add 9, and then multiply both sides by -1. So that means put a negative in front of both of those terms. And then problem 12, we're going to divide everything by 2 to start with. Plus 3x plus 7.5. And then subtract 7.5 over. So 3 gets divided by 2, that's 1.5, and then we're going to square 1.5, that's 2.25. So 2.25 gets added in on both sides. So the right becomes x plus 1.5 squared, and the left becomes y over 2. -5.25. So add that to both sides. And and then multiply by 2. So it puts a 2 in front of the x plus 1.5 squared, and then 5.25 times 2 is 10.5. That's kind of a hard problem. But make sure that you're multiplying in front of both of those so that you're distributing that 2. So the vertex is negative 1.5, 10.5. And then in the last page, factor these. So again, we need to know the x-intercepts, which we figured out. Negative 9 and negative 3 here. And then negative 1/3 and 3/2 here. So x plus 9, x plus 3, and then common factor of 2 there must be because of that 2. And then this has to be 3x plus 1 and 2x minus 3. Remember, denominator times x, an opposite sign, and then the numerator. And then 3x times 2x gives 6x squared. You can FOIL that whole expression out to double check it. You should do that. All right, so those are the solutions for the third practice quiz for quiz 3, trimester 1.